Yeah, by the title, today's video, I rage a lot. I'm gonna be raging like a terrifying zombie, giant, ugly zombie monster that suck brains out people's heads, even zombies' heads. Shriek. Y'all should know what I'm saying, cause if y'all don't, y'all don't. Okay. If y'all don't know what I'm saying, y'all just don't know what I'm saying. Oh! Cuddle back, whatever you call it. Alright. Now, the third guy, he's a rapper, I think. But I forgot who Lil Baby is. The fourth one, the lady that's all the way at the fourth, I forgot who she is also. But I know them too. He's Lil Baby, but I don't know her. I don't know her name. I don't know any of their names. So I don't even know which one. I never watch or see them on anything or whatever. See them in person. See them on anything. You know what I'm trying to see. You know what I'm trying to say. Or do you? Come on, Captain America, still build an item shop. Yes. How long? 7 hours he'll be in an item shop? In 7 hours, I don't even know if I'm gonna get a gift card to buy them. Forget about the battle pass. If I get a $25 gift card, I'm getting Captain America. Forget about the retarded battle pass. I don't actually mean your retarded battle pass. I love the battle pass. Don't be mean at me. Don't be mad at me. Gucci gang, Gucci Wayne, Gucci Bane. Laptop on your back. Why you like llama laptop so much? Llama laptop so much. Stop flexing on me. Stop fucking. Don't mind what I just did. Animate it if you shoot. Yeah. I see it without moving it. Oh, wow, I'm really smart. Yellow jacket, why you bully me? Why you bully me? Why you bully me? Why you bully me? Why you bullying me, Ever? Why you bullying me, Captain America? I watched all of the movies, just to let y'all know. Have you? Comment down below if y'all watched all the movies. Oh yeah! Whenever y'all watch my vids, make sure you comment. Don't just watch it, just comment as well. Comment. Give a like, subscribe. I already got 6 subscribers. Subscribe, leave a like on this video. If you got a mobile device, hit that little bell for when I'm streaming. You'll get the notification. On console, you can't hit the bell. That's what all these YouTubers say. No, they don't say that. But these YouTubers videos is about Fortnite. Crazy. Crazy. I don't even know why I just supported it for creator code. I need to get my own creator code. But speaking of that, can you even make a creator code? Please excuse me. No, the streamers are currently in the creator program. There's a program. Alright, there's a program. Alright, nobody told me there's a program to make your own creator code. I don't even want to do the program. Wah, 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 wah. I'm looking fly. Pardon my swag. Pardon my swag. Pew. 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 Somebody watch my stream live. Alright. Watch this. Alright. Whoever watches this. Let me do something. Oh, I can't do it. I need to mute myself. Bye bye, mother trucker. I can't mute myself. Wah wah wah, wah wah wah. I ain't muting myself. Well, whoever watches stream, wah wah wah. I forgot what I was gonna say. Guilty mother trucker. Bye, mother checker. Is it already on? Come on. Don't tell me it's on. Because if you do, I'll go to your house and murder you for... I'll go to your house and murder you. I'll kill you in front of your parents. And pull a gun out and say, ooga booga, you're dead.
So you dropped the mention of the house party app. Mike,
it's already on!
Did you use it?
I wasn't going to do all that stuff. Don't mind what I said.
The cool people in my life helped me to what's
Little baby.
2 apps I'm most interested in right now are House Party and
I saw her before. I forgot
directly
not his.
back and forth with people. That's a lot cooler than sometimes Twitter where stuff gets lost in translation. But you know, I'm still over there tweeting with the angry moms and dads. Shouts out to the old folks.
Is that little baby?
I think about where
activism
was on this issue in particular when Ferguson happened. And looking at it now, it is, while, you know, there was definitely a lot of positives that came out of Ferguson, particularly the Black Lives Matter movement, seeing the level and the difference is that, you know, clearly there was a lot of lessons learned there. Cool. And they've applied them now. And so it definitely seems much more cohesive, and that's been impressive. What has impressed you about what you're seeing, especially from these young people who really have seemed to seize this moment?
What I've seen be most beautiful about this time is kids have the ability to adjust and even be like water. They're truly plotting, planning, strategizing, organizing.
I never played mobile.
The skateboard kids came in.
It's kind of hard on edits.
60s, black people look like them.
So it's kind of hard to edit.
We get our heads split off.
I can't wait to get a new phone because most of my phones broke. And my last phone that I had that broke,
beating black people, you're dragging
it wasn't even worth it. That phone had good internet connection, but act like it had bad internet connection. And on certain freaking games that I can play on a different mobile device, won't let me play. It freaking lag out.
I was talking about those skateboard kids. I saw those kids first come in.
That phone was like $50 and they said it was free.
Police were hacking with people with batons. They held up the skateboard.
That phone was not worth
kids
it.
Who skateboard, my kids skateboard.
I got a drone. I could have got a phone. That drone did not work because I need batteries, and we didn't have enough batteries for the drone controller.
Literally come in and save protesters from beatings. And then they got really frisky and they started attacking back. And I was like, this is, although I don't want violence in the streets because those kids deserve
to events happening, right?
Without being soldiers against the state that their parents
pay
taxes. It impressed me that the proletariat showed government that you work for us. And in this moment, we are exercising our right to make public display of the evil that has happened. It makes me proud that I live in a country that has long promised equality, rarely given it to people who look like me. People who don't look like me defended.
You made an interesting note and observation about the skateboard crew. And I think anybody who's watching has noticed that it's not just black people who are out here protesting.
No, like, it's a tapestry of people.
It's a tapestry of people.
The Amish. The Amish.
Yeah. Wasn't that crazy?
I didn't even know the Amish.
Was this supposed to be for adults? I do not understand nothing that they're saying.
Right. I was like, I didn't.
That's probably the reason why on YouTube they said Fortnite is not for kids.
I was so thankful. My heart was filled with joy.
Now I know the reason why they made that video, but I do
types
not
of people
care.
that you never thought this issue would resonate with them. It kind of reminds me of your music. Your music is unapologetically pro-black. Unapologetically, right?
Absolutely.
But yet, when you look at a Killer Mike fan, it's across multicultural section of people. Why do you think your music is able to resonate that way, despite the fact that you are also clearly talking to your people?
Because he was being mean to me, then he said I'm not black.
I'm proud to be me.
That was so offensive to me and my cousin.
I'm not making no excuses. I'm not making no apologies coming in the door.
Very offensive.
I love us. I am in love with us. And because I love me, it has nothing to do or affecting my love of others. I have a very good friendship with East Indian cousins, Raj and Neil. They own the store right next to Walters on what's happening. So if you're from Atlanta, you know about Walters. If you're a big guy from Atlanta, you know about, the store right next door. These guys have always just been good to me. Raj went to India. He came back, brought my wife incense, these beautiful little elephant characters. He's proud to be Indian. I've learned about being Indian from my Indian friend. When you're truly who you are, how could you be offended? How could you not love it or like it? Like, man, I'm a part of the original people on earth. I'm from the continent that birthed all humanity. I think when you wear that proudly and unapologetically, and not from a place of needing someone to be below you, there's no reason for people not to like me. I like you. I got plenty of heroes that don't look like me. There's a portrait of John Brown on my wall in my basement. I thought he's a hero. He doesn't have to look like me. You know what I mean? But I refuse to act like people who look like me aren't great. I didn't say good. I didn't say good enough. I didn't say equal. I said great. I'm from a great and mighty people. And if you can't accept that, then maybe I'm not for you. But I believe that because I am simply who I am, I believe that gets accepted. Because you know what? I remember being on the tour bus, and I'm on there with a bunch of Northeasterners because of course, my rap partner's a white guy from Brooklyn. And we're on there and watching Swamp People, and everybody's laughing. And I come up and stagger into the front, and I look at it, and I start smiling, and I look at the room and say, I got more in common with them than any of y'all. And I just walk to the back. Now, because it's the truth. I'm a Southern boy. My grandparents from Alabama and rural Georgia. I grew up more like people on those shows. So I think across cultural lines and across racial lines, people identify with me, but just because I'm your typical American guy. And I have some special things. I'm not going to deny that I'm special. I was a smart kid, went to Morehouse, had an understanding of some cool stuff. I married a beautiful woman. That helps, But I think that ultimately what resonates with people is that I'm a regular guy. One of my best friends in the world is a white guy from Brooklyn. So I think that people understand that I have the ability not to look past your race or ethnicity, not to look past who you are culturally, but to look at it and love it and learn from it without wanting to co-opt it or be it.
What you're talking about in a very succinct and robust way is really allyship. And that's been a word that, you have it sounds like you have a lot of really great allies that are in your life. Now in this moment, I've gotten the question constantly. I assume you have too, about how to be an ally. You know, what do I have to do? Right? I've had so many conversations with white people, like really good friends of mine, in the last 2 weeks. Where, all right, guys, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but hold on a second. But nevertheless, that being said, is that, you know, what would you say to somebody who wants to not only be an ally but be a good ally?
You want to be a good ally in this moment. White corporation, white person with the means. That's a worthy allyship. On a ground level, if you're just working hard every week, you don't know what to do. You're an electrician, you're a plumber. Grab one young man who doesn't look like you, a young woman, and teach them that trade. That's allyship. Allyship isn't just throwing the money, but if you got the big money, put it towards somewhere. But on a very real and basic level, my son had an accident with a man named Keith. I bought my son a car. My son Malik, with a very pretty girl in the front seat, rear-ended this guy Keith. Calls me. I pull up to Keith and the police officer. I say if he'll allow me to handle this privately, I just don't want to call my insurance company because, you know, I had just got in an accident. I drive fast. My son, Keith, in good faith, gave me the opportunity to do that, and me and this man became friends. You know, I'm literally friends with this white man who told me about Atlanta pre-white flight and desegregation, who's taught me about fatherhood and the importance of presence in your child's life. That doesn't happen if we're not open for it to happen. So an allyship for white people doesn't have to be an organization of saving the world. But you do have to do what me and Keith did. You do have to, on blind faith, trust someone who doesn't look like you and allow that person to educate you. So an allyship is not just calling your black friends saying what I do. It's going to black organizations that might be local and saying what am I do. It's calling your friend and saying, what's the next thing you're doing? And I want to be an extra set of hands. Doesn't mean you get to go to the black people meeting, but it does mean if they say I'm going to feed people on Skid Row, you show up. And you show up with empathy and care, and you do it. And I'm going to tell you, we need doctors in that space. We need lawyers in that space. We need legislators in that space. You know, we need the people who are really empowered to be in that space, because there's some things that need to happen on ground level that once the grassroots people have gotten it here, there needs to be money put behind these things. A lot of the problems that we have now that are erupting could have been solved in 96, 2006, 2016, and all these other years, but we chose not to because we trusted the right thing's going to happen. Right thing's not going to happen unless we make it. And after that, you have the potential to truly be brothers and sisters. You have the potential to be past the letting cultural, national, religious markers evict the fact that I know that I'm talking and I'm with a human being, and at our very core, past any physical difference, my job is to honor the soul of that other human being. So there's no need to have allies because I'm not at war. I truly have a brother and sister. There's no need to have an ally because there's no threat of war. I refuse to send any 18-year-old boy or girl off to die. And that has to be something that's much, much deeper than policy, much, much deeper than the human condition in the last 500 years. We have to get back to that. So that's my humble opinion. I don't know, where that takes white America, but I hope we stay standing up, fighting together.
You know, Mike, we've been having this great conversation, and a lot of people watching, they probably want to know, because, again, these things happen in flashes where 1 minute we're talking about this, everybody's fired up, everybody's willing to do things, and then the next minute, the momentum dies. So how can the people who are watching now, how can they keep this conversation, this action, this momentum going?
Take this conversation, get 8 to 10 people around you, your neighbors and people who live within 10 square miles, and start to see what you can do to affect. And then connect with other people that may be in closer proximity, 30, 40, 50 miles, even another city or places that are doing it right, that are doing it right in other places. Connect with those people. And just, if all of us do a little bit, no one has to do a lot. If all of us do a little, if all of us pick a little to do, no one will have to do a lot.
That's a word right there. If we all do a little bit, nobody has to do a lot.
Has to do a lot, absolutely.
Nobody has to do a lot. Mike, I have enjoyed this conversation like I enjoy every conversation with you. I can certainly talk to you. Yes, it is mutual. The mutual respect and love of society right here. Thank you. And more importantly, thank you for everything you do on the ground. I mean, so many people, I knew that you tell the truth the way it needs to be told, but a lot of people during this time of crisis have been exposed to you and understand that, you really are for the people. This is called We the
Absolutely.
People. This is you all day long. So thank you for all the work and all the inspiration, all the words, everything that you're adding to this conversation, and more importantly, to this action. With that said, we have to say goodbye, but we don't have to get out of here just yet, because I'm gonna toss this on to my brother, Van Jules, who can take it from here.
Jamel and I, we spent the past hour, we've been talking to Killer Mike, we've been talking to Elaine Welteroth. We also got a chance to see that amazing video from Lil Baby. Jamel, what did you get from your conversation with Killer Mike? And more importantly to me, what do you make of this moment that we're in?
The one thing you can always expect from Killer Mike is blunt honesty. I think that's why a lot of people look at him as a really credible voice right now. He's honest about what he knows and honest about what he doesn't know. So I think when you have those elements, that's going to always make for a pretty good conversation. I'm with you. I mean, this moment at the same time is welcome. It's also a little bit surreal in terms of what took us so long to get here, to make sure that we're not always starting from ground zero every time we have to have a significant conversation about race in this country.
Why do you think it's different this time? Because, I mean, there have been videos before, and yet people still now act like they're shocked. Help me understand what's different this time from your point of view. What's your theory?
It's two things that I think stood out about the George Floyd video. One, there was no yeah, but. And granted, in my mind, we've seen videos where there was no yeah, but people nevertheless invented a yeah, but. But in this one, there really wasn't one, even if you were Stretch Armstrong trying to stretch and find one, there just wasn't one. What always has just stuck with me is the look on this officer's face as he was kneeling on George Floyd's neck. It was so cold. It was as if this were Thursday. And he showed such little emotion, remorse, any emotion you want to name. He didn't show any of that as he killed a man in the middle of the street with bystanders looking on. So I think that situation, coupled with the fact we had already been reeling from Ahmaud Arbery, we had already been reeling from Breonna Taylor. And even though the situation wasn't fatal, there was definitely a storm of frustration at what happened with Christian Cooper. So this all together leads us to this moment where finally, even the most adamant naysayers who wanted to pretend as if this wasn't a structural problem, what could they say? There was nothing else that could be said. And I think everybody who was already fed up decided now is the moment, now is the time. The world has slowed down because of COVID-19. If we are going to address this, this needs to happen now.
I've never seen 20, 30 million white people asking black people for leadership. That's interesting because they talk about, what do you want me to do? I'm like, well, I don't know. Google is a powerful tool. I don't know. I'm realizing now, though, that this is an honest question. How do you think that we as African Americans and our allies can rise to meet a moment like this and actually accept the fact that we may actually have a couple million new allies? And how do we deal with that? That's new for us.
I'm glad you used the word leadership, because there's a difference between us being put in a leadership position and us being put in an educational position. The educational part, we are long past, right? We don't want to be educating anybody else about race. We're not here to soothe you. We're not here to make you feel better. But leadership is something different. And it looks different depending on how you want us to take that leadership. Certainly, we are accustomed to being a voice on these issues. We're accustomed to setting the agenda. It's fine if we continue to lead in that direction. I think what we're looking for is, if this were, a relay race, we want to pass the baton, and we want you to be able to say, okay, here's what we've been feeling about this issue. Here's what needs to happen to change it. The other part of this race is that you got to be willing to run it just as hard and as fast as we are. Because if you're not, that's why we remain stuck in the flying pattern that we've been in for hundreds of years and decades as we've tried to reconcile this issue. So we have to figure out what is the most useful way of allyship. We see a lot of people throwing statements around. We see a lot of people throwing money around. We need that to be a focused effort, and more importantly, to be vocal about it. I can't take any more double-sidedness. There can be no more other-siderisms, if I may make up a word, meaning that you give over here and you're a company that is like, yeah, Black Lives Matter, except for in my boardroom where they don't, or except for my organizational chart where they don't. So I'm done with that, right? That's great. Charity's great. Charity doesn't change structural racism, right? What changes it is when you actively look in your building and ask, why aren't there more Black people in this building, in this boardroom, in this C-suite? So the allies that we have, what you can do, change the structure and cultures of your companies, of your businesses, of wherever it is you have influence. Start there.
The thing I try to tell people is, it puts us in a no-win situation. I want our white sisters and brothers to be better educated and to care more, but I don't want to have to bear the burden of trying to teach and educate all the time. The reason you pay tuition is because it's costly to educate someone. You coming up to me and saying, educate me, that's costly to me emotionally and from a time point of view. Also, I think we have to be very honest. Nobody would go up to somebody and say, teach me Russian in 5 minutes. And by the way, make me feel good about it. Right? I mean, you wait, hold on a second. Like, you want me to teach you about racism, which is the history of race in America is just as complicated as Russian. And you want me to teach you that in 5 minutes. And also, if I make you feel bad about it in any way, now I got to be your therapist too. And like you said, soothe you or whatever. That's got to stop. I would love for somebody to come to me and say, I made my whole family watch the 13th and read The New Jim Crow and read White Fragility. And we had a question on page 52. Now, hey, we can have that conversation all day long because you're doing your homework. But don't flop on me like you never heard of Google. If you wanted to know about cryptocurrencies or whatever, you find that stuff out before any Black person ever heard of it. So I'm sure you can educate yourself about anything you want to know. I have to say something to you because I've never gotten a chance to talk to you. I feel like I know you because I'm such a big, mad, crazy Stan and fan. But I love you to death. I just am so proud of you. I'm saying proud of you almost as Patrick. I am so proud that you exist. Where do you find the strength to continue to do what you're doing and say what you're saying, even in the face of opposition, to the point where now the whole world has to listen to you? Where did you find the strength when they weren't listening?
I guess maybe this is just part of the Black woman's condition, is that we don't know any other way. And most of us, I come from a line of Black women who were just like this. My mother's like this. My grandmother was like this, where it's the old phrase we've all used as Black people, making a way out of no way. And scream until they hear you. You know what I'm saying? Is that because the opposite, to do the opposite of that is what? Is that I can't even afford to do that. I don't know any other mode but to fight for what's right, but to try to stand on the right side of history, but to speak for people who don't have a voice or a platform as large as mine, because somebody did it for me.
What advice do you have for people who want to have these conversations, maybe not as well spoken, not as well read as you might be, but who really are sincere and want to have a conversation?
I think you have to start from a point of honesty and being real about what some of your beliefs, prejudice, biases are, where they come from, why you learned them. I think if you take anything else beyond race, as we get older, we do a whole lot of unlearning, young folks. When you get to like your 30s, you do a whole lot of that, right? But my advice is to always start from the point of truth and honesty and self-awareness. And you'd be surprised what you can get accomplished just by digging into those things. I mean, if you know you come from a racist background, or if you come from where race was talking about a certain way, be honest about what those conversations were and what they taught you. And ask yourself, is this the kind of person that you really want to be?
Yeah, I feel like there's a 21st century mindset and a 21st century skill set that, everybody's going to need a mindset of empathy. I mean, we're going to be dealing with people, every color, flavor, every kind of human being ever born. We all have to deal with each other now because of the internet, because of just the world economy. You're going to be competing against people in China and Nigeria. That's just the world. So you have to have a mindset of empathy to really try to understand where people are coming from. You have to have a skill set of listening. If you understand this conversation, you can talk to Black folks and brown folks and Muslims, everybody else. So we're trying to confer a benefit to you.
Somebody was listening.
We're trying to make you better. It'll make my life better. It'll make your life better too.
Okay.
Now, what charity are you supporting?
Well, as some people can maybe see my T-shirt. It says "Support Black Journalists."
All
right? The lack of still black journalists in most newsrooms is pretty appalling. What changed my life and what got me really on the right path in this business was being a member of the National Association of Black Journalists. NABJ is the largest minority journalism organization in the country. The development, the networking, job fair, internships, scholarships, what happens there has changed lives. It changed a lot of people's careers. I mean, people like you, Van, and everybody you want to think of, Roland Martin, Soledad O'Brien. It's just a number of people, Michael Wilbon, that are a part of this organization and have been able to build legacies there. And so it's on us to, again, usher in this next generation of young journalists who, I get it right now, feeling really discouraged when they look at not just what a lot of newsrooms look like, a lot of networks look like, but also we're under the under the shadow of a pandemic right now. So there's a lot of journalists who have lost their jobs. A lot of companies are downsizing. They need a reason to believe and to be in this business. And so NABJ has done so much for my career and continues to do that for others. So that's the charity that I support and the organization that has changed my life and that of many others.
Well, listen, I second that, third that, and fourth that. NABJ is a beautiful organization. I've got groups I want to support as well. But what I want to say to you is just thank you for your light, for your leadership, for your courage, for your entrepreneurship, for your T-shirts and all that type of stuff. Make sure to support the sister businesses, and let's keep this conversation going. Much love to you.
Thank you, Van. This is a pleasure.
I got good news for you. I got bad news for you. The good news is that people are activating all around the world, all across the planet for change. That is a powerful moment. Here's the bad news. Unfortunately, this is not a one answer fixes everything situation. We're talking about systemic problems, which means it's not just one law or one person. You need 360 degrees of change to shift to get the outcome that's right. But we can get there if we keep talking, if we keep working, if we keep building. And if we do that, we can reshape America. That can be done. It's been done in the past. We can move the whole world in a better direction. So I hope that your cell phone right now is full of screenshots of these tools that we've been trying to give you to continue taking action from this virtual town hall. When this stream ends, the conversation should not end. We got to keep pushing. We got to keep going. We are in an important moment in history. And what you do is going to determine the outcome. 2020 is going to be talked about for 20 years, 100 years, maybe 1,000 years. But the future's not written. It's up to what you and I do and what you and I decide is going to happen. So I want to give a special thanks to the powerful voices that we've had, Elaine Welteroth, Killer Mike, Jamel Hill. Make sure you visit 50percentpledge.org to learn more about the power of money. Also visit my organization, reformalliance.com. We're trying.
Wait, Midas was sticking his middle finger up. Oh my god. Is it? The right one. It's like it skipped the whole thing. I'm weirded out. Yeah, baby. Giadi. Enable crossplay. Confirm. Enable it. See you later, motherfucker. See you later, motherfucker. I'm a woodchucker. I'll be back straight. Back.
Hello? Hello?
What's up?
What's up?
I want to go do something. Wait, D-Money, come again?
Hello?
Bro, you kind of sound like Alexander. He was one of my friends list. I never knew him. I don't know him in person, but that's either, it's like Alexander and such and such with numbers. It's Alexander numbers. I'm doing something right quick. We the people. Solid Gold is now squads. Let's go. I do not got the battle
I've been waiting
pass.
for Solid Gold to go squad.
I don't got the battle pass. I wish I do, and I wish I would just get the battle pass. And I wish I could get a $25 gift card so I can get Captain America first.
Yeah.
And then wait till I get 200 more V-Bucks, get the battle pass, then save up all the other V-Bucks, and then I will just I want to get the emote. I do want the emote, but battle pass, it's worth it. Oh, yeah, I have to wait though till I get more V-Bucks to get the battle pass. If I get a $25 gift card, then get 2,800 V-Bucks.
How many V-Bucks do you have right now?
I got 150. I might be able to get the battle pass and I'll have 2,000 V-Bucks left.
I have 800 right now.
Do you got 50? If you got Boogie Down, do it. Because if you got Boogie Down, you got Gifty.
I don't have Boogie Down.
Dang! You could have gifted me the battle pass. I wish somebody had Boogie Down and had enough V-Bucks to give it to me. YouTubers do. Ready up, FNF player? What the I can't even get my words out. What's wrong with Jelly's arm? What's wrong with the dude's arms? No, let me be my main skin. about me raging. Not about me raging, but I just play matches. It says I rage a lot, cause I actually do rage a lot. So don't mind me if I rage.
But you're gonna be just like my friend who rages a lot.
I bet so. I'm streaming too.
Really?
Just gonna be playing some matches, and I might rage. Cause I always rage, so why not do a video of me raging most of the time? Or technically stream. Cause I can't edit it. I don't even know how to edit it.
Where are we going? Holly Hedges?
I don't know. What, are we going there? I'm going Rockety Ridge.
Rockety Ridge?
Ain't no bosses, just to let you know. We could've went to authority. Ain't no henchmen, ain't no bosses. Could've went there and did whatever we want. I should've did Phil. Or should I? Nah, I don't know. Wait. Oh my god, that's a freaking lag. A glitch, actually. Imagine if I land and I still got that. People will easily see me. Oh, lucky enough, we're the only ones that landed here. I don't see no gliding on around my screen.
Yeah, I love that when that happens. Oh.
I found a rare chest. Everybody get a rare chest. No, they don't. Yes, they do, retard. I'm not a retard. You look like a basketball. I'm talking about myself and I actually.
Ooh, RPG, baby.
Who want these 2 chug splashes?
No, I'm good.
Cause I'm going to the slurp. I'm going to the slurp container. I think it gives you 100 or 50 shield. They upgraded this. They upgraded these things right here. I think they give you 50 or 100 shield. Come up here, Infinite Player. D-Money, come right here. Get this.
Okay.
Wait a second. You all the way over there. All I got is just a hunting rifle and a pump. Never mind that, I got a scar hunting rifle and a pump.
I got an attack and a P90 and a RPG.
Who wants that tactical assault?
I do. I'll take that.
Come over here. No Infinite Player, he already called it. I'm picking it up. Wait, haha, broke it. Haha, you can't get no shield. Haha. D-Money, come on. Alright, break this. Break this so you can get some shield. I don't need shield. So I do give you 50.
Yeah, they used to give you 25, which
yeah, it used to give you 20. They used to give you 5 or 25. I forgot. Oh yeah, 25. Yeah, I give you 25. Oh, here go your tactical SMG. I meant not SMG, tactical assault rifle.
I'm really good with tactical assault rifles. When did you guys start playing Fortnite? Like what season?
Season 3.
Wow.
Stream. Don't say I'm lying, even if nobody watching, but y'all gonna watch after this the live stream. Cause they always, people that watch my streams always don't watch my streams live. Sometimes. I mean, like, I never played since season 3 on my game, on my console. I never had a PS4 when I played, but my cousin had a PS4. My little cousin had a PS4. He's been playing since season 1.
I'm playing on Nintendo Switch.
Cause he's been playing since season 1, so I mean, like, I started playing Fortnite since season 3 on his game. Yeah, season 6 or 5 or 7, I joined. I don't know which season out of them 3 I just joined. no need. Me no need. Me no need. Me no need. Me no need. How did I pass this retarded pistol? Nobody won. How did I pass this? Burst. How did I pass? I don't care about the chest. How did I not care about this? I don't really care.
What kind of combat? Infantry rifle?
Yeah, you do get combats.
Yeah, you can find combats.
You secure? I found combat before. 2 times.
Yeah, if you got a combat, you're probably gonna win.
I mean, like, I dropped my comeback. I really didn't want it.
Really?
Can I build stairs? How can I build stairs right there, buddy? Alright. You make me so tired of you. Make me want to kill you.
Find another
Smack
inventory
your little
rifle.
head off. Make me want to say you're retarded and dumb. Totally didn't say anything like that. Makeup chick. You ain't got no makeup. Yachty, because I'm a boy, Gotti. Actually, I am a boy. Why I say Gotti? It's technically not a secret, but there's an island over there. You need to get 100 wood, and then give it to them, and then they upgrade their base.
And
You should watch Tico. You should watch
25,000
Tico when he went there. He said it was his fishy babies. All the fishy babies swam in that one spot. Then shark, and then it was in when the defaults attacked them. It was in that, like, we got attacked. It was in that. And then he said the defaults must have
Guy Storm.
told the shark. Okay, let's say I don't even remember what I was going to say. I need a heavy sniper.
There's a chopper here.
What kind? What kind of sniper? What kind of
There's a chopper here.
helicopter? I thought you helicopter? I thought she said sniper. I wanted a heavy sniper.
Yeah, this one is
Let's go. There's a helicopter. There's free loot over here. Yummy, yummy, yummy. It's my free loot. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Ain't nothing to eat. Yummy, yummy, yummy. You look like feet. Ha, 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 ha. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Ain't nothing to eat. Yummy, yummy, yummy. You look like stinky feet. Alright, that did not sound right. I should say yummy, yummy, yummy. There's nothing to eat. Ew, sticky, sticky, sticky. It smells like your feet. How did you get... How did the dude jumped out and then look. Go! Attack the helicopter! What the helicopter? A helicopter? I'm so good at marking, I didn't even have to use my sniper. My sniper doesn't even aim far enough. Gliding, people gliding under what? I wanted a helicopter! Yachty, you parasite. Get over here, you white and black guy. Y'all just parasites. That's how it is. One shot. I don't even think he had that much shield because I one shot.
That was a soccer skin, dude.
I know. I don't one shot his teammate. His teammate freaking had this. No. there's something yummy to eat. Somebody using the zip line. Headshot. His teammate coming. Use a shotgun. What the heck are you doing? That's the reason why we got a shotgun, to use it.
Yeah. I play on 60 FPS. I play on Switch.
Bro, I don't even know what an FPS is. I can see my ping, but not whatever you call FPL. Yeah, you better die.
Take that.
Take that. He have a heavy sniper, but take that, you pathetic parasite. Pathetic human. I'm fishy and banana, cause they gotta choose. But I'm most fishy. They technically won the war, but Hanzer or Berserk, I forgot. Hanzer or Berserk, I forgot. It's Hanzer or Berserk that made a truce with Tico. And Hanzer and Tico made songs.
Can't wait for cars.
Together. Fishy got drip. Fishy got that drip. Fishy got drip. Fishy got that drip. Why is it only me and you?
I think he left.
But he did. I don't care.
Where do you want to go?
I don't know. Where do I want to go? Let me think. I don't know. I'm thinking of bus driver. Now, where shall we go?
We can go PP, we can go
I'm going there. There's only one chest, so so you go Sweaty, I'm going there. I'm getting that one chest.
You can also get the chest at the nose of the shark.
There's only one chest. Oh, there is a chest at the shark.
Yeah, there's one chest at the shark.
Koopa alien, you alien. Pathetic parasite. Get out of here. Go, you pathetic parasite. A rare chest.
Whoa.
People landing over here. The parasites landing here.
Golden apple. Ooh, proximity grenade launcher.
I met someone.
Oh, I just got a proximity mine grenade launcher.
I met someone over here. Look, I helped the buddy.
Yeah, you get XP.
Yeah, no, it's a challenge.
Next is probably gonna be Stone Age, and you have to feed him 100 stone.
I'm over here with another guy. He ain't pickaxe me or anything because I think it's because I had to have a combat. I'm gonna follow him. I'm giving him minis. This kid retarded.
So you better start moving.
He ain't need the minis. I'm over here with another kid. Look at that little anvil.
You better start
He
moving.
trying to be a
Don't
giant
stand away.
stepping on him.
Bro, just give me a shotgun.
not running away from my sight.
No shotgun.
I'm going to the shark. Why this kid followed me? Wait, did you already loot the chest at the shark? Nope. And it's another rare chest.
Well, Doug thinks it was.
Oh, Doug's supposed to be a rare chest. I think he know where another chest is. Well, I got a rocket launcher.
Oh, just give me a shotgun. I cannot find a shotgun. Shotgun. I'm finding some ARs and stuff.
I made a friend. I made a friend. He gave me a swordfish.
Okay. Shotgun. Not an inventory rifle. No shotgun.
I made a friend. I can't believe that.
Hey, now at least we're more than half a squad.
Glad I made a friend.
Cleo's back.
I made a friend. He got a pistol and he had a scar, but he dropped it. Or did he loot it? He got a pistol, but he ain't shooting me.
Finding some OTGs and stuff.
Bro, I'm catching this on stream. Bro, I got someone following me. If you see somebody behind me, don't shoot them.
Okay.
Alright? And I'm gonna try to just crouch, like don't shoot him at all.
RPG
Just you know what you do to team up with somebody. Just crouch up and down, and he'll probably team up with you like he did with me. I think the only reason why he did that because I had a combat. Now we friends.
Maybe you can find him on the. Maybe you can actually find him, but.
Oh, now you
Finally
want to
joined. Another pump shotty.
I got a new friend.
Oh, the pump shotty's gonna fly. Whoa, I gotta.
Is he going to his teammate?
I don't want to get banned for teaming.
I'm not gonna get banned, I guess. I don't think I'm gonna get banned anyways.
Well, I'm getting out of here.
You got an explosive.
Yeah, I got a proximity mine one too.
Hey, come pick me up. I got my friend over here. I don't think he knew. Don't kill him though. He dropped you a flopper. Don't kill him. Hurry up and eat. Get inside the boat. Hurry up. Better do need hurry up. See where he nice. He's friendly.
Yeah. It's a little mishap.
He didn't know you was my teammate. He thought you was an enemy. He didn't know who you were, so.
Then why would I come over there to pick you up?
This is my first time ever teaming up.
Oh no, he left.
You trying to team up with somebody?
I'm low health. Oh, he's throwing somebody? But if he gets knocked, then he's done. There we go.
I helped the guy get the kill.
I need a med kit.
I need AR ammo.
You do? Well, you don't left because I got like so much of it. There's 240. There's 240 of it. I dropped you something else, huh? Look behind you.
Yo, I cannot believe we got a teammate. At the end, let's let him kill us. I want him to get a victory, y'all. I really want him to get a victory, y'all.
Yeah. After we kill the last dude and there's only him left, we drop all the guns.
Yeah, let's drop all our weapons. Let him kill us. Jump in.
Okay, there we go.
I just want to. I think you see people. One right there. Is he knocked the kid? Don't shoot any explosives. No, he died.
Ow! I shot from behind! Don't die, bro. Did you get him? He's under your staircase. Good. Under there.
He killed our teammate.
Yeah, I saw that.
That wasn't even our teammate.
Again.
No, I want to know his username. I really wanted to know his username so I can add him. We need his username. I'm going to that spot again and try to make friends with another player.
Does your friend Infinite Player have like a mic?
No, he don't got one.
Oh, that's sad. What's your name?
My name?
Yeah,
What's yours first?
Dylan.
Huh?
Dylan.
Dylan?
DYLAN.
My name is in my username, just without the M7. Don't say M7 and you got my name. So say it.
It's like
So say my username.
It's like Laser Molly or something.
No, say my username.
Lemonty?
No, not it don't end with the T. I mean, like it don't end with an A, but it ends with an E and it says A. Lamonte.
Oh. So where are you from?
I don't really trust you, so you have to tell me first, actually.
I'm from Oklahoma, Norman.
Gainesville, Virginia.
Funny, my brother is friends with someone from Virginia.
I play PS4.
Which?
I really want to make another friend. I'm about to go back to that location and make a friend. Infinite player. If you try to kill my friend, just let him knock you, and I'll res you. And then if the dude is friendly, to me, and he knock you and I res you, he'll be friendly to you.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
Yeah, that's what happened last match with the cold team leader. I really wanted to add that kid.
Yeah.
So whatever you do, if there's a player, don't kill him.
I don't think anybody's coming all the way out here.
Somebody go to the shark. I'm already looting this chest. Or what if there is people coming all the way over here?
Really? Barely anybody goes over here. But,
to do the challenge, people need to come. No, somebody come right here, there's a weapon. We don't need them to have a weapon. We can't let them have a weapon. If no player, I said loot it.
I got the shark. The one chest on the shark. I got a tactical assault rifle, baby.
See, I already upgraded it. The music!
Yeah, I like the little music.
My controller is vibrating!
I don't have vibrating. I don't really like vibrating.
I play PS4 and my controller is like shaking. It's like I'm shaking, but it's just my controller vibrating. It looks like my feet is shaky because I'm balancing it on my foot. It looks like my feet is shaking and making my controller shake.
I got an AR and a pump.
Hey, you're one of them! That's your family.
How many people went over you? One?
Did you do the challenge? Dylan?
Yeah, I did it a while ago. Like,
but every time I get close to it, my controller vibrates.
2 days after this showed up and I watched a YouTube video on it, I went over here and I did the challenge.
Yeah, I watched Tico and I saw
I did it in Team Rumble though.
Every time I get close, my controller vibrates. Is your controller vibrating, Infinite Player? How? Mine is every time I get close.
I don't have that.
I feel massaging.
Do you see the kill feed down below? It's crazy. Somebody anonymous.
Give me rocket ammo. Thank you.
Okay, let's go.
Let's try to find another player and at Sweaty. Let's see if he by himself and there's no other people. Let's try to team up with him. If he don't team up,
I'm gonna destroy Lucky's lighthouse and get you more loot.
I hope I get into another match with that kid. I really hope so. Oh my gosh, you can see under the water what the shark look like. It's all bruised.
Yeah, did you know if you go in replay mode and you go underwater at the shark, you can actually see
do that. But I never done it. I never done it, but
you can actually see vending machines.
Really?
Yeah, with blue
Vending machines
miniguns.
will be unvaulted, and once the water go down.
Yeah. And also,
Yeah.
if you go in replay mode around the giant whirlpool, and you look on the rocks around the whirlpool, you can see Aquaman's trident, and it's probably going to be the last challenge. Claim your trident at Aquaman around the giant whirlpool.
I'm going sweaty. I need a shotgun anyways.
Destroy Monkey's Lighthouse.
Come in hot! Steamy hot!
Ooh, hunting rifle.
There's a boat right ahead.
Ooh, RPG, baby.
Ooh, I got an RPG. I've been had an RPG, bro. There's a boat around me. Destroying everything.
Wow, Lucky's Lighthouse.
I hate when that happens. Why do things have to get stuck inside the magnet?
Another RPG. I'm coming. Just by the sands.
People right ahead.
I just hit a punch card.
Right ahead. I see a kid. He inside that building.
If he's friendly, keep him. If he's shooting at you, just kill him.
But there's more people.
Oh, coming. Who put down decoys?
Where? They not friendly. He killed me. I don't even know why I'm not raging. This video was supposed to be raging, but I guess I'm just calm. I guess I'm just doing the bit. He's so bad at sniping. There's another kid right there on the sidewalk. No, the other side. Yeah, right there. No! Bear. Yeah, it's over there. That's the guy I saw, but he ain't killed me until the other kid. Why didn't you use the whirlpool? You just swam the whole entire way. Yeah!
Yeah, probably should use the
I thought you was going to try to no-scope. Break it down. Didn't do anything. You got 1 HP, and what if you killed the retarded kids?
What the?
Both of them shot you.
Yeah. I thought like he had like a glitch or something because there was like 2 shots at the same time. But they just shot me at the same time.
I'm gonna keep landing at the same spot till I find somebody that lands there and that's friendly.
I'm gonna go sweaty while you guys go over there.
Okay, you can do whatever you want. I'm just trying to find a friendly player.
Well, he was low.
Cause if somebody there to do a challenge, they're friendly.
Yeah. I hate when you're just trying to do some challenges from the last week and like they just kill you.
Imagine if
I still haven't done the eliminate people at Steamy Stacks. I got 2 out of 3 of them, and like people keep on sweating on me.
Imagine if we hop into another match and the Cuddle team leader, like the same guy from the other match, that was friendly, get into this match. That would be awesome. Oh, it's gonna be a long glide. I'm drinking some drink.
I'm gonna go sweaty.
I'm drinking some
I might
watermelon and
extra
lime
Lucky
fuzz.
Lighthouse. I'm gonna go Lucky. Because there's plenty of chests there.
Lucky Lighthouse?
Yeah, I just heard the bottom.
I'm sparkly. I'm from outer space. I thought you said you was gonna go sweaty. What am I doing? I'm doing the emote in the air. The worm. Put your hands up. I'm putting my hands up. I'm doing a worm, but the worm. It just barely is the worm.
Well, people are already down. Holy crap! Kill feed going crazy. Wait, fall. Stop this thing.
Lucky Lighthouse.
Lucky Lighthouse.
Lucky the Trap House King. Lucky the Trap House Wing. Lucky my wing, man. Before I can even land, I can see the circle. Before
Give
I
us
can land.
loot.
Like a cool Stop vibrating!
I don't want that image.
It's like my second time going to that, and you already
Holy
vibrating?
crap, dude. Got a pistol.
Jailbird. Stop. Let me lead it. Stop messing around. I'm in the little kitty water.
I'm gonna take those minis.
Why do that happen? Not even why do that happen. See, I can do a backflip while I'm in the water. Dang, stop moving forward. It's water that keep going up. Hey, why did it aim? Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park.
Well,
I marked
that
it.
start.
I'm a leaping fish.
I haven't bought any levels with my V-Bucks.
I'm so good. I got an infantry rifle.
I don't like inventory rifles.
Is it because you're bad at using them?
I just don't like them.
You don't like them because you're bad at using them.
Ooh, heavy sniper! I'll give it to you.
Whoa!
I found a heavy sniper.
Shot the last one.
Yeah.
So you won't be able to catch me. Even if I'm going backwards this next player. You won't go into the whirlpool without before me. Actually, you probably will. Haha, you did. I got pushed out before you. That did not sound.
Whoa.
That did not sound.
Blow it all.
No. I need a shotgun.
I don't have a shotgun. Hunting rifle?
Oh, I found the shotgun.
Hunting rifle.
Every time I say I need a shotgun, I found one. All the time I find a shotgun when I say I need one. When I don't say I need one, I don't get one. I see people. Ain't nobody.
Nobody can stop.
I lied. There's nobody. I saw no one.
Okay, good. That means I don't have to
Fell
rush
for
over.
it.
Tactical.
I'm SpongeBob SquarePants. This sound like SpongeBob. Actually, don't.
Keep getting spit out that before I win now. What type of headset do you have?
I don't got a headset.
What are you using?
Headphones.
Oh. I'm using headphones too. It's hard to find headphones with the
I'm not using headphones. I'm using a headset, but it's broke. It's like a cheap headset, but it's broke, so I have to put it on TV amplifier on my PS4.
I'm using my headphones, which have a mic in them, but my brothers broke them, but they still work. Like
Your
they
brother's
just broke the
boyfriend?
plastic on them. My brothers.
I thought you said your brother's boyfriend.
No, my brothers did.
See, why did that never work? How the heck did it break? Was I imagining it? I can't even get my words out. What was I imagining? Was I imagining it? I cannot get
saying it properly.
Was I imagining it? Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I got 2 big pots and I'm not sharing. I got 2 big pots.
Anybody take it? I don't care.
Oh, I want it.
You can
Oh my
take it.
gosh.
Well, we gotta go.
Even the player don't even think about taking it, cause he gonna die. I got 1 med.
Good, I got chug splashes.
I got
There's a
2
boat over
big
here.
pots.
There's a boat at this fish stick place.
There's a zip line right here. I can use my med on it. My
Get out of
fault.
the storm
My
any way
fault.
possible.
Ain't nothing
Really.
to believe.
Get me out of here. Get me out of the storm.
Did y'all get the boat?
Yeah, I got
Dude,
the
you
boat.
left us! You a bad teammate. Wait for
I can
this.
take a little storm damage. Come on, I can't play. Come on, we're taking the boat. I got chug splashes we can all take.
Over here. Come up here and take them. Alright. Wait for infinite player. Come on, infinite player. I got 100 HP.
I got 97, which is okay.
I got 2 big pots.
Probably. Ain't nobody want
I
that.
already got a pump. I got infantry rifle for long range.
Who's it? Anybody want it?
I don't need
There's
it.
a
Y'all
boat.
can have it. There's people right over there. Bruh.
Dude,
There's people right there battling us third party. Because everybody always third party. I'ma start third party.
Yeah.
I mean, like, isn't it like a new thing?
That there's water right here down below.
I know. Imagine somebody snipe me in the head.
I don't want it to happen.
But look at all this loot.
Yeah. But we're gonna... Oh! Ow.
Almost knocked one.
Everyone shooting me. Thanks one a lot.
Yeah, we killed that squad. We showed them who. We showed them who, boss. Hey, you threw him.
Yeah, because
nobody shot me not once.
I can't revive him.
Nobody shot me once and only got one kill.
Bro, I pumped those dudes in the face so hard.
Bruh, Infinite Player got 2, me and you got 1. I got max ammo.
Heavy snipe, bro.
I got no more ammo. Bruh, that drift guy, I lasered the kid. I beamed him.
I don't have any med kits. I see. Over to that Infinite Player.
Here you go, Infinite Player.
I don't need this.
Oh, let me get it back. Oh, now. The storm! Give me that bolt.
Go.
And I'm done. Do fireflies. I got a launch pad.
I got no time for fireflies.
It's too late. I'm already picking 3 up. 6 is the maximum.
Yeah. Over at Lazy Lake, in that little pond. Oh, I hear a boat.
I got 3 fireflies.
I don't see no boat though.
Where they burnt that? Oh, I see. Oh, I see a boat on my screen. I don't see a boat.
I headshotted the last.
Oh, now I see it. Now I see him. I got a launch pad. Let's break this tree. Break this tree, Infinite Player. Break it. So we can use that launch.
Wait, there's a whirlpool right over here.
Alright, using my launch up.
Okay.
Bunny hop.
They're up on that hill.
Now I'm about to snipe. Yeah, see? Oh, I saw him. He edited and then built. It's a default. It's a sweaty default. But we need to kill all defaults, bro. They are disgraced to our fishy time.
That is a sweaty default, but he's a default.
Imagine if I headshot him, he jump up. He on the side, he on the side.
Ow.
Dang, he hit you.
Yeah.
People over there, campfire. I'm inside the bush. Yeah, not that default. They all behind that rock. Shoot the rock.
Oh,
I see you. I see. Spam him.
Ow.
Kid over there. Kid on the other mountain. It's a blaze.
It's a burning. Oh, that was so close. Oh, you killed that kid up on the hill.
Yeah, I can see the loot. There's somebody else still up there. Somebody else still up there. I just saw loot been picked up. I saw loot got picked up.
Oh my gosh. He's over on that side of the hill.
Wait, did I really throw it right there? What's up, Alexander?
Yo, what's up, Lamonte?
Now you sound like cheating. I went in the head.
Guys, Storm.
What? Alright. Guys, hold on. I need to be.
Let's go to squad. Alright, well, bye. Got one kid. Boy, this Storm. I need meds. Yo, I'm so low. He has 6 minis. One right there. He has attack. Oh, you guys infinite player? We have... Everybody was like right there. Oh, God. Can't wait to get that Eternal Night skin.
My headset unplugged, so I did not know y'all didn't hear me when I said they on top of the building.
Yeah, we didn't hear ya.
And when I was coming in here, I fell. No, I can't, cause my sister wanted the bathroom light on, so I went in there. Then I was running up in here. Then I fell. Go in there. I got no time for finding nice people. This ain't the end of the stream. Even if it's been an hour, I might make it 2 hours. Look at this cacti. No scoop! It's so easy.
Well, that's saved.
Bruh, headshot him.
We don't know if I has family.
Scar. Agariska. You can go over there by yourself a minute, player. Just go there by yourself if you want. There's so many people at Holly Hedges. I'm going somewhere else, but it's close to Holly Hedges. I'm gonna get some loot over here.
I'm gonna go to that boat over there.
Ooh, I found the chest right on that. All I saw was just glowing, and I knew that was a chest. Oh, a hand cannon? And it's actually good.
Yeah. If you can find a deagle, you can easily shoot down builds.
Yeah, I like calling it a deagle. Just the word hand cannon just keep getting into my head, so I just call it hand cannon.
Well, how come I keep on finding RPGs?
How many times am I gonna find a pistol? I found a pistol already once. Well, what again?
Oh, I see an orange.
I got 3 minis.
Give me that.
Oh, you don't need none.
No, the pistol. Hey, log your mood boots.
Imagine if I get sniped. Ooh, let's go pump.
So, dude.
I found the pump. Hey, let me switch my loadout. Somebody over here. See him? Killed him, 1 shot.
It was a one shot?
Yeah, bro, he was a 1 shot. I didn't even headshot him. He was going for this chest up here. And that deagle with a, bro, that's so sad. There's a boat.
Put a boat by me real quick.
Here go
So I
SMG.
found a hand cannon too.
Let go.
Whoa.
Wait, you got them settings where you can see where chests are and boats are, without
Yeah.
seeing them on
Yeah.
where they are, bro. Let go. Me and you got the same settings. Well, not
It's
all
called visual
same.
sound effects.
Yeah, visual sound effects. I forgot. I be forgetting what it's called.
If you don't have that, then who are you? Am I
Infinite
right?
player.
So let's hit
I
Storm.
coulda took damage.
Storm is finally close to the.
Oh shoot!
No, finally
Oh my
close
gosh,
to
it's
the
on
Storm.
fire.
Yeah.
People threw grenades over here. I think it was infinite player, but look, it's on fire.
Ooh. I'm coming because all I have is a sniper and an RPG.
All I got is just a pump and a deagle. And I keep fighting pistols everywhere.
Finally, an AR.
Oh, come on. How did I pass that chest?
Yeah, I went right through there, got a golden AR.
I don't need the big pot. If somebody found another AR, get it to me. Oh, never mind. I already got one. I found the
Well,
scar.
my favorite spot to drop was Sleepy Swamps last season.
Well, I already got a scar. Look at the little pump.
We used to drop like Sleepy Swamps every time.
I like playing this because Pump's back in the game if you play this. But if you play regular
I
match,
do
just
not
charge
like
up.
charges at all, dude.
Me neither. I don't like them like that.
I actually rather put those snaps than charges.
Remember these little trolls where they break down?
Hey, bro!
Oh, you better be lucky it wasn't that high up.
Yeah, I was going down.
Bye-bye,
Oh,
Deacon.
yeah,
Bye-bye, Masterpiece. And hello, Crash Patties.
Oh, hello. Crash Patties.
Ooh.
Boo.
People was over here. Be careful, they might be here still. Oh, chest.
Yeah, they might have moved into circle now. But we gotta worry. I still hear like 2 chests by me.
Proximity launcher.
Ooh, what are these?
Alright.
Not that.
12 rocket up.
There's like this little mini one.
Let me see.
Ew. There's mini ones up here. Like, you know those big ones that we found? Look at
Yeah.
those. I think
Oh!
they're gonna be like 25 now.
What the heck? I needed help.
How many hand cannons can I find? Oh, should
I
actually start
want
killing
to
those
keep this
flashes.
deagle. I see a boat right here, but I want to keep the deagle.
Yeah.
It's like the deagle is my trustworthy sidekick.
Boat.
Ow! I need healing. I'm not using my med. I'm just use the not the mini chug splash. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm not about to use these. I'm using these. I'm using those. For my health.
Tactical AR, baby. Once I get this, I'm set. I could just find a shotgun now. Slipfish.
Something wrong with my aim.
What's the new grenade launcher?
Oh, yeah. That's it.
What'd you do?
I shot the explosives barrel when he was holding it, and then it exploded.
The other kid that was it like a opponent or was it infinite player?
So funny.
I keep on finding
all
skulls.
his shield came off. Oh yay, slurfish.
Yeah, slipfish.
Here, infinite player.
Yeah, give that to him.
I threw that way farther than I expected.
How many pistols can we actually find?
Oh, you don't need the med. Well, who can hold that med? I already got a full stack. That boat just appeared.
I'm carrying chug splashes. There's chug splashes.
I'm carrying minis and meds. Come on, infinite player.
I got proximity mine launcher and a gold bolt action.
Was it the one I marked?
Have you found a shotgun?
Yeah, I got a pump.
Have you found any other shotguns?
Nope. I only found the pump. When I found another pump, I found more shotguns, but not a tactical. Let's ram this.
I'm actually really better with the tactical.
Oh, somebody tried to snipe us.
Why does everybody have focused? Is it security now?
I'm glad I hit that building because somebody could have sniped us.
Hey. You just picked a spot?
Yeah, because people all the way on that side.
P90. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Anybody need some slip? There's slip in here.
I got 99 HP because of the fire, but
You
I
can
don't
take
care.
it.
Nobody's going to use it anyways. Everybody got full, so I can just use it anyways.
Yeah.
We don't even care if enemies have to use it because there are enemies.
Chest, give me a shotgun.
Let's go all the way over there now.
Another SMG.
I don't need that SMG. Imagine if I headshot somebody with a deagle. Over here, see the footsteps? There, right here. On me. Inside of it. The inside of it.
Sending the proximity mine in.
They're healing, you know, somebody trying to shoot me. All the way over there. See, they're all the way over there. There's people healing.
Nobody ain't gonna shoot you from all the way over there.
They shot one at us. I'm trying to go to these people they're healing.
Footsteps.
I'm inside the vent with them. I'm not inside of it.
Ow! Right above me. Inside his box. It was inside his box. Healing.
Oh, right here. I'm breaking through here.
One has a combat. The drift has a combat.
Bro, they're bad.
Yes, infinite player.
Bro, they actually bad.
He's in that box. Infinite player, can you revive me?
They're both trying to kill me. Bro, the 1 HP and this other kid up here. I can't do anything. If I'm trying to go against somebody and the other kid trying to kill me.
What? They killed me with the that I had. Well, these dudes sweats.
Not the drift and not the other kid, but the default is.
Yeah. I'm like the drift, I get.
You just
like
got
Jimmy.
Jimmy. So his name is Jimmy. What's up, bald-headed, retarded 7-year-old Jimmy? Y'all be back. I'm doing something. I mean, I can't hear y'all because I haven't seen the amplifier anywhere else.
Oh. Alexa, what time is it? Oh, I want to go eat some lunch. I'm going to return to lobby. I'm going to go get some lunch.
Yeah, go back to lobby, everyone.
Yeah.
I hurt my finger. I squished my finger between my foot and my controller. And hard. Well, that's the end of the stream. Hope y'all enjoyed. Bye-bye. Peace out.